Welcome, everybody. Eric Johnson with you. It's time now to talk about Milligan June Jubilee. And of course, what better way to do it than some great music that's coming up here? Eli Young Band, as well as my next guest. He's an Air Force man, he's a Georgia native. You love him. It's none other than the Austin Snell. Welcome, my friend. Appreciate it, dude.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, brother. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thanks for having me get a chance to talk to you. I know you're a busy guy. You just got out of CMA Fest. First and foremost, how did everything go? I know you've been busier than heck, but how's
Yeah,
everything
man, it was a blast, dude. It always is a blast. It's a long week for sure. It's busy for the artists, but it's awesome for the fans, because they get to come into Nashville and kind of see all of their favorite artists in one town. So, I mean, I get to meet fans that I normally wouldn't get to play for, and so I mean, I don't take it for granted at all. It was a blast. It's a little tiring. I didn't get much sleep last week, so we're hanging in there by our thread. But yeah, it was a blast for
You
sure.
gotta love caffeine. It's glorious. I tell you what.
Yeah, dude, give me a coffee and I'm good to go anywhere.
How many CMA Fests have you been to thus far?
This would have been my third one. I played 2 years ago. Was my first one. We played the Reverb stage downtown, and then the year after that we played the Riverfront stage, and then we played the Riverfront stage again this year. So it's I'm getting a little bit used to it. I'm getting a little bit used to what to expect and how tired to be, but it's a blast every time. So.
Do you ever get a chance to fan out a little bit and kind of see the ones you don't normally get to go talk to and be like, oh my gosh, you know?
Not really, man. No. I mean, we on Thursday, which was our main day, we had to be at our first sound check at 7 a.m. Sound checked, and then we had a show at 10:30. We had a show at 12, and then we had a show at 1:30, and then we had interviews until about 5. So I don't usually get a chance. Saturday was my day off, and my girlfriend and I went and watched Rascal Flatts at Nissan Stadium. So that was
Oh,
kind of like our celebratory. We made it kind of night. So
that
because
is awesome.
she's a stylist as well, so she was busy this week as well, and she styled all my stuff for my shows, and she had 5 or 6 clients that she was working with. So we were both pretty tired, and Saturday was kind of our let's hang out and not do anything day. So
Sounds like an awesome woman there. That's great. That's
she's great, man.
I guess whenever you're in Nashville, what's always been the dinner of choice for you and the missus?
The dinner of choice, dude, it has been just going to get a steak, man. I'm a big steak guy. Um, but we're starting to. I got a Blackstone grill recently,
Oh, those things are lovely, aren't they?
dude, and it's life changing, bro. So we're trying to buy groceries now and like kind of cook at the house. So we've been eating dinner the last couple weeks at the house, but I mean, you can't beat a good steak at a
Amen.
restaurant.
Steak and taters. I love it.
Yep.
Well, you get a little reprieve and getting back on the road. Your summer tour in full effect this year. Tell us a little bit about all the dates you're going, just pinging across the Midwest here. It looks like.
Yeah, man. This is my favorite time of the year, man. I hate the cold, so it's starting to get warm again. We're starting to play, all the outdoor shows and get to come up to Milligan and play an outdoor show. So, I mean, outdoor is like my favorite place in the world. Like, I like playing outdoors. So, this is like the best time of the year. We got all our festivals and fairs that we're doing. And then we're doing kind of a tour at the last part of the year. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to all of it, man. I look forward to, playing for new audiences and seeing some new places and just live music is kind of the reason why I still do this, and I didn't think that I would like it when I first got into it because I'm so like not the center of attention kind of guy, which I probably picked the wrong career field for that. But I didn't
Well, I
think
got to
like
rethink that one, don't I?
yeah, dude. When I started like with music, I kind of just wanted to be a songwriter. I didn't know really what I wanted to
Oh,
do.
okay.
I didn't ever really plan on doing the artist thing, just because I didn't feel like I would like being on stage. And
Yeah.
dude, it kind of just fell in my lap and started, playing more shows and more shows. And like, that's like my favorite aspect of it now is playing shows. So, like I said, this is the busiest time of the year, which is the time of the year we get to play as many shows as we're playing. And it's a blast for sure.
Now the songwriter approach. How many years have you done that before you got onto the scene?
So I started that when I was in the Air Force. I picked up a guitar. It would have been in 2016 or 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just started teaching myself covers, and got bored with learning covers, so I started writing my own music. So I mean, I would say I've been doing that for, I mean, upwards of probably about 9, 10 years.
Nice. Well, of course, with
I've only been
family.
doing it well for about 3 or 4, but
Well, that's exactly you fine tuned. That's how the correct term goes. But
yeah, yeah, I had years of preparation.
I loved how you and for the fans not understanding the backstory behind you too. I mean, it was you're coming into a family, a Georgia native, go Bulldogs.
No
Um,
dog.
I was gonna say, I mean Husker territory, so I gotta be treading dangerous waters there. But you know, uh, coming into a family, dad loves rock and roll, mom loves country, and I love the fact that your collection Nickelback and Alan Jackson, a whole mix of everything in between. That was pretty neat to read up on you about.
Yeah, dude, it's I mean, it's a real story, and I feel like that was what was supposed to happen when I started making my own music, and it's just kind of what fell out. So, it's never been an approach where I was trying to be something that I was not, and I feel like that's kind of what's made it so fun is that I'm not trying to like, chase something that I'm really not, and I'm just kind of just being me and telling real stories and making the music sound like something that I would want to listen to when I was growing up, and that's kind of what we got. So
Yeah, talking here with Austin Snell and Austin. When you speak about it, whenever it comes to your name, it always synonymous with grunge country. Explain
yeah,
grunge country to the audience.
yeah. I don't think that's something that I coined. I think it's just something that the people started calling it when I started releasing music. I mean, it's just kind of like that old grunge sound. Like, I mean, my dad was a big, rock fan, and we were listening to Nickelback and Three Doors Down. Three Doors Down is my favorite band of all time.
Nice, good choice.
Um, and I mean, I'm also a big Nirvana fan, and
Oh,
so that '90s, like kind of style of
the
music was
best
like
year, yeah,
super
the
cool,
best.
dude.
Oh, yeah,
And just like the dirty like sounds of like the rock was like super cool to me. And I don't know, man. I guess they kind of just figured it out on their own. Like I just started kind of making that sound, and like I remember my first song that I put out, our reference track for "Excuse the Mess" was it was a 3 Days Grace song. I think it was "Never Too Late." I feel like was kind
yeah,
of the song that I brought into the studio. I was like, listen, like we got to do this. Like we got to make this song sound like this. And I mean, that's kind of just the epitome of what I want to sound like is that. So
Did you ever think that, I mean, obviously, God's got you on a path here to success. Did you ever think on the opposite side? Could you ever be like the cookie cutter traditional, like George Strait Wranglers, and could you ever think you can be that or not? Did that just never?
listen, man, listen. I love all music,
Yeah,
and I tell people all the time that I don't, the grunge country thing kind of just happened, and like people started calling me that, and like
yeah,
that's just kind of the box that like some people just like to put me in, and like that's cool. I love that. Like I
yeah,
think that's so sick. But like my goal getting into music and like when I first started is like I don't want to be in a box, and like I feel like you know whenever somebody clicks on my profile on Spotify, I want them to be able to listen to my songs as if they were listening to a playlist that they curated of different artists and music. And like I mean, I'm just a fan of music in general, and like I think
yeah,
if it's a good song, it's a good song. And I mean, who's to say that next year I don't put out like a traditional country song that like just has the steel, crying in the back, and like I'm just singing some sad story about a chair.
yeah.
uh,
There you go.
but I mean, I love music, man, and like I'm just gonna kind of keep riding the wave and like kind of just going wherever it goes and taking me wherever it's gonna take me. And I feel like that's how I stay excited about it,
Yeah,
at least for me. That's how I kind of just stay motivated in what I'm doing, and that style changes. However, I love the rock sound, and I think that'll always be kind of the backbone of what I am and what I go to. I don't know. I'm just a fan of music, so.
I can feel that you can do a rendition. You remember Rascal Flatts country song backwards?
Yeah,
Yeah, I could see you doing like a remake of that. That'd be kind of neat to hear.
yeah, yeah. That'd be cool.
But yeah, and you coming into your scene and whatnot. And I've listened. I got listening to Wildfire, of course, Still Bleeding, first and the deluxe. but I think I think it sounded like you have fun regardless, but I know with the music with Brantley Gilbert, a little bit Muddy Water Rock Star, I think that was a very good ear catching point for a lot of fans. I mean, first and foremost, Brantley and you gel well together. You guys sound like you vibe
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, man. Brantley was one of the first dudes that I opened for when I first started playing shows, and we played a show in Alabama, and that's where I met him. Was at an ATV park. It was a show for like an ATV mud park or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and that's where I met him, and like ever since then, we had a really good conversation, and he's kind of just kept me under his wing a little bit, and I can reach out if I need any advice. It's good to have somebody in the industry that's kind of been through all of that stuff to kind of rely on and lean on a little bit. And I've just always been a fan, man. I had a burnt CD of his first album, Modern Day Prodigal Son, that old album, and we had just a burnt CD of all the songs on it. So I've always been a fan, and I'd always kind of wanted to be on the tour with him. We were just kind of waiting for the right time, and I'd been pushing for it, and we finally got it this year. And so, I hit him up, and like we had kind of just been talking back and forth about doing a song together for a while, and the tour was just the perfect time to do it. So we put it out right before the tour. We played it every night on the tour, and it was a blast, man. The people loved it, and we did the whole thing. We had the flames and stuff on stage, which that was my first time with flames on stage, dude. Because like our show's not big enough to have a full production flame set up and like the huge cryo and pyro stuff.
Oh yeah, this cold sparks and all that jazz. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude. And like they kind of like we didn't do a rehearsal, like a stage rehearsal of it, of me going on stage and us playing it. They kind of just said, "Listen, there's going to be a lot of flames, and it's going to be loud. Just kind of figure it out and keep that in mind." And I was like, "Oh god." And so like I walk on stage, and I guess the adrenaline was pumping, and like I walked on stage, and like they have this like tape that like kind of marks around the pyro, like the
Yeah.
flame kind of throwers things. And I guess the adrenaline was pumping, and I wasn't paying attention, dude. And I walked in that tape, and the flame kind of shot up, dude, and like my heart dropped to my feet, bro. And that was my first kind of experience with that. But after that, it was fine. I got my legs under me and figured it out. But dude, it was a blast. The whole tour was a blast. He's a good dude.
You just did their thing. He's like, thank God I wore my brown pants.
Yeah, dude, exactly, exactly.
Well, we're talking here with Austin Snell. Of course, we can go on an hour tirade and a 12-pack down the road here and talk about the ins and outs. But I just, from reading up on you and understanding how mom was a big influence on you, getting onto Facebook and the spot of where social media and streaming has been a big influence on your life. I know 2023 was like a focal point for you
Mhm.
where everything was gelling right. You had music, you had PR, everything was right on you. I know you don't like the limelight exactly, but I mean, you were far beyond the glass ceiling. I mean that had to have been just a game changer for you when you hear your name synonymous with Austin's the real deal. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of I'm still, trying to figure out how to navigate everything and stuff like that. But yeah, 2023 was a massive just culture shock for me. Like I just, I grew up in a small town. I'd never really lived in a city before, and I wasn't the popular kid in high school. Like, so like, I mean, for me to go from like never playing a show before to all of a sudden being on these massive tours and doing all these massive interviews and having all these streams and having radio play and, hearing people talk about me on the radio and stuff like that was just, it was such a massive switch, and it was so like weird to adjust to. And I think I'm finally kind of just settling into my skin a little bit, and relearning how to just like take a moment and relax and like take it all in, because it's hard to do, man, when you're so busy and everything's happening at once. It's hard to like sit back and be like, wow, this is cool, you know
Yeah.
so
And it just comes full circle knowing, you know what? I I am not there yet, but I am on the right path to success big time. And people know what I'm a fan of you. I know you got a lot of fan base up here in this neck of the woods. We like to end things off here talking a little bit about one-on-one with the artist. So
yeah,
I got some questions for you before I let you go, which by the way, thank you for the time to get
absolutely, thank you.
talk to you. Going to shoot some questions at you, shoot from the hip. First and foremost, besides steak and taters in Nashville, what's your go-to food when you're traveling on the road?
Oh man, it's horrible, dude. It's horrible. We stop at a lot of McDonald's. They're off every exit, man, and we're hungry about every exit. So a lot of
Yeah,
McDonald's. If we can, we usually find a B-Dubs, a Buffalo Wild Wings.
dude,
Uh,
you go
that's
hot or you
usually.
go mild?
I go mild. I also go boneless.
Yeah.
I'm a boneless guy, but yeah. So either Buffalo Wild Wings or McDonald's are our two regulars.
Well, you're out in the fairs and festivals. What's your go-to entertainment out there in between performing?
Um, I don't know, man. Usually a drink is our entertainment.
Nice. I was just gonna ask you, what's your drink?
People have these like crazy, I feel like, takes on like what backstage the green room is like
Yeah.
at, these festivals and where the artists are and like what they're doing before they play a show. And it's pretty boring, dude. It's actually extremely boring. We're usually just sitting there. Like I'm usually scrolling through Instagram or posting a TikTok or, down in a hamburger. It's not very star-like at all.
Well, I was gonna say I can see you on the social media and having a stiff drink in hand, just kind of taking care of business.
Yeah, dude.
Have you ever had a runza before in Nebraska? Have you ever been up here and having a runza?
What is that?
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to include you in that. Runza is a delicacy up here that it's unique for ones down south and around, but when you get up here, man, I bet you 2 kegs and a hog, you're gonna be like, dude, send me. you know, a nice little pocket sandwich and some fries. Oh, you're gonna look at it going, man, McDonald's? Nah.
All right. Well, I look forward to it.
I'll hook you up. But no, man, last thing here, want to give you an opportunity to tell the listening audience, your style of music, impeccable. Why come out to the show and see Austin Snell live? The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, we're excited to be in Milligan. I think it's going to be a good time. I'm excited for this weekend. You can find, my whole schedule on Instagram. I'm Austin Snell Music everywhere. And I'm just kind of a rock country guy that likes writing songs. So I guess that's really all they need to know, man.
That's right. Simple and easy to the point. Like you said, tour schedule, merchandise, everything else in between, the discography and more can be found at austinsnell.com. Miles out now. And of course, we might hear something down the road. Who knows? But stick to social media for the very latest. Austin, can't wait to see you on Friday the 13th. It's going to be fun, man. I can't wait to meet you.
Yes, sir. We're excited to be there, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man.